Okay, we're live.
All right. So I see the first cucumber's working now, which is pretty fantastic.
Yep. Happy that it is.
Where was the change you made? I'd like to just look at it.
Oh, of course. In the routes. So I left it as do because that lets us actually put multiple things down below. But in the end of it all, it's a collection we wanted. We didn't want, what did I used to have? This is what we had from a professor for something similar in a way. And it did a member do, but all I really wanted though was this collection get, and I got that from that website I linked, which I don't have up anymore. But
yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, I saw like a couple things and I'm like, let's try this, and well, I write like what it does and I'm like, this is what I want, and it worked perfectly. Once I had it in there correctly, it worked perfectly as far as I can tell at least. And we do a there we go, a Rails output. I also moved the login up higher to underneath the bums. I don't know that I didn't want to remove anything that's not ours, but as a create new event seems kind of out of place. We were right next to it at one point, but I'll let someone else take care of that in the future.
Yeah, this looks a little better.
And then I hit login here, and there it is. I mean, it fails once you hit this button, and probably this one too. Oh no, that one actually works. But this guy does not work. It'll give me an error right off the bat. But I don't think we have any so it is expecting me a post type.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure that's even right, honestly. Because it's not like we pulled what was for I think create, and we're not really trying to create something here. We're just trying to get a confirmation on it. So we might have to change some stuff in our views to properly show that and all, but beyond that, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
So if you want, actually, I have committed a couple times, so I can get rid of this, not to worry about it. So I'm gonna remove that unnecessary stuff. Cool. And we don't need this anymore either, at all.
Yep.
Okay. So then, scenario based. Let me cancel that and let's look at cucumber. Okay. So now it fills it in. We might have to change this username part to be filled in properly, but actually I can figure that out now. Oh man. Oh good, it remembers it. Okay. I was afraid that when I stopped it would fail the back button. So the ID is user underscore name. That's what I think the important thing to get out of this is. Unless it's, I don't think it's user part name. Yeah, I think that's what it's based on. It's ID, not the other one.
What are you gonna use the ID for?
Updating the these guys. The cucumber points. That's really it. Because now we have it. Make sure it's actually accurate.
Yeah.
Here it is. So
it looks like that part's working, doesn't it?
Well, it doesn't actually know. Like it doesn't know where it goes. Does that make sense?
Well, no, it's going. I think it can find it based on a couple of different names, because otherwise that step wouldn't be green if it couldn't find somewhere to fill it in. I've had a lot of problems like that.
I'm curious, actually. So I was going to run it one quick time, and with the one is being one way, one being the other. Yeah, same result.
The same.
Well, we'll I'll put it back where it was, and obviously, if we run into the problems, we'll have a first guess.
Yeah.
So
the first thing breaking is when you click the button.
Yes.
So automatically it's looking for a post route. And you said maybe we don't want a post route.
Oh, you know, I also realized though.
What's that?
We don't have it clicking the button in the scenario.
I feel it, then I should see. Oh, true.
I did the same thing on the homework for this week. I was like, why is this working? And it took me like coming back to be like, oh yeah, we're not clicking the button. And then I press. I remember that. And it's login, right?
Yep.
Cool. Oops. That should fail instead, actually.
Yeah. Let's see the error for that.
No route matches post user / login. So I'm curious to know what the heck this guy's was. They also had it as a submit type. So if we review back to what they did, movie controller, I closed all of them, didn't I? Great. That's in the accounts login. There we go. Here it is.
So input type submit just means post, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Oh, let me do a rake routes on that then.
Yeah.
I had that. Here we go. So this is under accounts. Yep.
Do they not even have verbs for accounts?
Well, we're using login instead. Sorry, no, we're using users instead of accounts.
Yeah, I'm saying their accounts don't have any verbs next to them. Their account routes.
Gotcha. Yeah, you are right. Let me. It seemed like some of the actions were defined based on their controller when I was looking at before. Let me open that one up as well. So they have a index login. So if session user and redirect back to default. Oh wait, I'm being silly. I something else I think I did that I forgot about. So if you notice the form tag, it's login users path.
Yeah.
So So I think it's okay. That means it knows that it should be going to that location.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking and it says the input type submit. All that's for is just defining the submit button. That's nothing to do with the routes.
Gotcha. So this will go to the correct. I think we just have to create the controller now.
Yeah.
So well, we need our spec to do so. That's what this is gonna be the hard part now.
Mm-hmm.
So for a controller, so for our spec, I got some specs here for the movie specs we had. He's a little short here. I had more at one point. There we go. Yeah, it's models. I want the controller one. So we got to create a spec specifically for this guy. Before I do that. Okay. So now let's use his controllers. So we're going to be working in our login section, but again, we actually want to start writing here. I just want to get an idea what we want to do here. So the first thing I think we want to do is to, we can push off caring if the sessions if there's already something in the session. Maybe do that later if we really care to, but it's not really, making a person log back in, or he realizes, oh, I'm already logged in, he doesn't have to care about it. So I think we're okay. In the moves control we have for this assignment, we had this weird thing we had to keep the release date and title. So those things were kept in the sessions. But the fun thing was, like, if the session didn't already exist kind of thing, we had to create a default version. So we did let's index sort. Is that right?
No, we're not doing case sort.
Well, I know, but like in here, I thought we had stuff for sessions. Yeah, miss.
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't have to worry about the session yet. The first thing we have to do is match. We have to match the username and password that we got to an existing user.
Okay, let's do that then. So then, so for an R spec, I guess we have to first test. Well, let's create the R spec. So that'll be in spec, and as part of the controllers. So add new file. Users controller spec.rb. Okay, so I want to include Rails helper, describe event run users controller do context is I think the scenario really. Yep, the scenario. So the scenario here is proper login credentials. I'm surprised this thing's not keeping the N in the proper place. Oh, I don't have a do. That's why. and describe, login, the pound sign, do, so each line of code needs its own test.
Right.
So let's do a before in this case. And actually, I prefer how Jordan did it. He had a Jordan. He had a good way of making stuff like this, and then utilizing it well. So I wanted to use let's. Here's ones I did with Jordan at one point. I think the index or not. I did the show with Jordan, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to create another one of these with the same kind of inputs.
Oh, that's what the fixtures look like. Okay.
Here's the events one. So let's call this guy user T model.
All right.
Yeah. So then ID, I'm going to copy two of these things and I'll know the rest easier. So ID's 1, name is T model, and password is
we don't have an ID for user.
you need to make one no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
It'll make us force in this scenario, but in here we have to have it because we'll be referencing it probably.
Okay.
I'm assuming, honestly, I'm not really sure. I think can't hurt. Let's put it that way.
Do we?
So
quick question. Is the ID needed in context of fixtures, or do they make it for us in the database?
So I think it's needed because in the fixtures because the database would expect one. So
okay.
I mean,
gotcha.
I don't know if we actually. So the reason why we may not need it though is like if we're never using ID in our spec, then yeah, it won't matter. But I know where it will come in handy. We're going to use ID. Excuse me. We're going to use ID, I think, for our session. So I think they'll be important there.
Okay.
But you're right. To check that the inputs are correct, you don't really need the ID at all, unless we start using it as a reference point for some reason. So this guy's login, we had gotten to be oh yeah, closed it, didn't I? I think it was hello world, right?
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter because it's not gonna sync with each other.
No.
I think that's everything. Yeah, you just have that with indentation.
Okay.
And you're done. Not sure why those are blue and that one's not, but
let's put a second user in just to make sure it's not returning every user.
Good point.
Nice.
So yeah, I realized I needed the colon. So
you put a 1 at the end of your name also. I don't know if you wanted that.
Oh, yes, I'm so used to typing it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, but it doesn't really matter either way. That's really both of our names had 2 L's at the end of it. So users are good on. Good. So now comparison how they did it here. We just create an event that we use, and you base it off of this, and that then you extract it out so that you have instance variables as you see here. That's pretty much the result of that. So the user is equal to
users,
and then
team go.
There we go.
Users, I think. Oh yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Need a colon though. And then ID is equal to user.id. Name is equal to user.name. And then password is equal to user. Wonderful. What is this here? I put the colon in the wrong spot. So we have a before, probably made.
Yep.
So now it. So we need to do it line by line. So the first line we plan on writing is going to be what? To do what?
Matches the input to the existing user.
Good. Now, the whole find ID stuff and things like that, we don't have to do an RSpec for that, I don't think, because we're not making a. That's the wrong one. Yeah, maybe I'm moving spec. So we have queries the database. This is something that we did before for this. Queries the database. This is a normal query. That's not a. It's where directors equals directors, not like a find by. So I just think we're going to pretty much do a find by username or user or name, whatever it is.
What's the difference?
It has to be the exact name of the element. So I think in our schema, right? Schema, yes.
Yeah.
We have a password and name, so it has to be name. So it is essentially user dot. Is it user users? I'll find that out later. But whichever one it is, it's dot find underscore by underscore name. And then it'll give us the output. But if it fails, we know the user doesn't exist. So I should probably, anyway, we should test for that. No, I don't think we need to, because that's all. Should not find movie by different directors. These are all things we added, I think. So these don't have to be done. If they're the ones that are given to us, I don't think we have to do an RSpec for it. And find by movie is not a. We don't have to do a record-based RSpec, but we still have to do it in the controller to show that it did actually query it.
Okay.
So here we go. Oh, yeah. So Does that make sense to you? I'm pretty much copying the part below.
Yeah,
Instead of takes movie ID and terms director, I'm having it take name and determine movie ID.
yeah.
And then my nose. At user. But then our controller is going to have to look at the excuse me. Our controller is going to have to look at the pull up the password. Well, I guess it doesn't really need to pull out ID then. You could just do all at once.
Yeah, I think we might want to use aware instead of find.
Well, find gives us the whole thing. I don't.
It doesn't.
Oh,
Okay,
I see
it's
what you're
giving
saying.
us the whole user. Yeah. Okay.
No, you might have a good point. It might be aware, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. So expect user. User's the object representing the resource.
Without the @ symbol, or with the @ symbol.
With the @ symbol.
No, that's the instance of.
Oh, that's the one we made.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we're expecting that the instance variable that we created will receive a excuse me, will receive a method for the password. Actually, we might have to add that part to it now that I think about it, because let's see here, we had to add in. Oh no, it's okay. I think. Sorry. So if it's movie double. Double seems like a stub. So this method gives you this. I do need to add that actually. Now, should I put that into here? No, not there. Where I lost it, didn't I? Dang it. You know, I've never done this part in the factory. I don't have to keep doing it. It's kind of funny. I think I'm going to use a little bit of both. Just because I don't know how to do that in the factory. So the @ user, I'm going to need to add a couple. How did I do this for? Oh, wait. Never mind. Already taken care of by this. Is that how we did it before? Movie spec, yeah. No, that's the wrong one. I want the event spec. Here we go. I don't know if he ever did it this way.
Yeah, let's not mess with doubles if we don't need to.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure what they're doing.
I used it before, but I feel like I'm trying to do two different types of the same thing. So we'll find out if it screws up on us. Because I'm just using doubles for here to create that method. That's the wrong one though. Here it was. So in any case though, Oh, both these things. Oh, you know what? I just realized this is not under that it. This is a separate it.
It looks like it's under the same it
I know, but
down here.
it depends on, I can do an and,
Mhm.
or I can separate it. It really, I mean, it's as simple as doing that or that. I think I'm going to separate them just to keep them
Okay.
more isolated.
All right.
But then we have to also stub this, I think. So I need @user stub.
What does that do?
Actually, I did the wrong one. Sorry. I need user. It stubs the first part of the process, essentially just saying that
We already have @user though. We don't need to find it, right? Because
yes,
@user already exists.
but essentially, like it's the process. You need to, as far as I understood it, the RSpec will compare line by line instead of it being like smart enough to realize, oh, that's when you're actually doing the director pull.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
I also realize it isn't find. It's actually going to be find by. I gotta do that properly in a second. But return at user. I mean, the point is that really a stub also kind of does it, but it doesn't actually test for it. Is the other side of it. That's
Okay, yeah, totally get it.
I also realize that these have to be not just find because that's specific to that, but really same director. How the hell did you get? I'm the wrong one. Use controller. Num.
You're good.
Yeah. By name. I also might. So next part 2 is the get part. Now we did a get same gives you that ID. So that's how we did here at least. I'm trying to remember the hell I actually do everything by ID here. The whole get by ID every time. No. I'm going to leave it like this and see what happens right now.
Okay.
So if we do a RSpec do a general one first. Huh.
No method error. Looks like it's not finding the fixture.
I make a point.
If you go to users, fixtures, does that need to be users underscore tmodel and users underscore JSON?
No, I just made that be my own name. You see here.
So then that's how we have to refer to it.
Well, we did though. I thought we did. Let's see here.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't really see a difference between users and events. Nothing specific. Maybe I'm missing.
Specify your fixtures in the describe block, not within a before block. Do we have that?
Oh. Wait. So I did it after the scribe. What's the warning again? It's yeah, so I did see that he was doing it differently. He was doing it before the context.
Mm.
Oh, here it is. Fixtures. That's what I'm missing.
Okay.
Now, what did he do that? He did it on the describe. Okay. Man, I really screw that up every time. Huh, receive?
Spelled wrong.
Oh, where is it located though? That's what I'm really trying to figure out right now. Where is that located?
Line 14
Oh, thank you.
and line 19.
You have to catch me that a lot. I'm sorry.
It's all good. That's what the compiler's for.
Right.
No route.
Huh. I wonder if find by name isn't given to us automatically, and we actually have to create the method. Thought it would have been. I thought that was like part of the Rails thing.
I couldn't find too much about it online.
I remember in our class. No, let's see. When did we talk about that? That was. Oh man, it's a long time ago when we did this.
So this has a find by method in Rails.
Wait.
It looks like name is an argument.
Exactly.
Not a
So
part of the method.
So the find by method is it will take what we give it there and look at the elements. So as long as I got that right, it should be looking by that element. Sorry, that argument, which is name here.
Look at my screen for a second.
Will do. Yeah, you're definitely onto something. You found it quicker than I did.
I'm just in some active record documentation.
Okay.
It just doesn't have it connected to the method name.
Oh, really? Could have swore that was like find by underscore ID.
Looks like
Let
we
me
have,
see if I can find the example from. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So as part of the chapter 4, section 3.
oh yeah.
I just found the page on that. Let me bring it up real quick. That was on, what week was that? Okay, week 3. Here we go. Here we go. What? Is there more to it? Okay, here we go. So if you look at my screen right now, I'm pretty sure I should be
Yeah.
sharing this one.
I see it. I see it.
Okay.
Dynamic attribute-based finders.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other option is, here we go.
So then, is there something wrong?
I might
with
have to create it though in the controller though.
Uh-huh.
That might be not the controller. The R spec. I don't have a method for it in the R spec. I think that's the problem.
Okay. This sounds really complicated just for making a test.
It is. These tests are actually very complicated to do. It kind of sucks. This is my biggest frustration with it.
Are you confident in being able to make the method and have it act the same way? Or like, do you just want to use the where?
We still would have to create the where as well, I think. Well,
Okay.
I know the find though is not though. I didn't have to create the find.
Because like where isn't a dynamic method like that. It's
Yeah.
just you give it arguments.
I mean, yeah. But then how do we sorry. Did you see a where in the homework that I did? Because you saw to tell it like which type you're doing it on. You know what I mean? Like which element you're running the where on.
Mm-hmm. So I know in the actual control you would run it like on users. I don't know how that translates to R spec. Oh, you would expect
To receive the method where, but oh, I know. With name
equals.
key name. Oops. Pretty sure that's how it would be.
Yeah.
Because that's how you do the where, correct? Like that's literally the
Yeah.
argument you put in.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, good. Because it's been a while since I've done one. So if that's it, that should be it then. I'm gonna have both up just to see what takes. What? I swear I said this. Oh wait. Huh.
It doesn't like the third line of that.
Oh, thank you.
Also, I think change the
Yes.
arrow to an equals.
I was thinking it's supposed to be this. One minute. Sorry. Find same director. ID is ID. I think that's how it's supposed to be. So why didn't?
What is the get doing?
Honestly, that's part not remembering too well.
Okay.
But you're right that that's where I need to change it for sure. It looks like where doesn't exist.
Try getting rid of the arrow and just making it an equals.
That's what we used to use. And yeah, it doesn't like that.
Up on the expect line too.
I'm pretty sure I have to create it up above. So I'm gonna undo.
Just undo all of it then.
Yeah.
One sec.
So I'm heading after the TikTok. So I'll see you later. Okay.
I do think that this has to be named. So oh, let's see if that does anything different. Okay, so in the old controller I had to create fine. No, you're right. This is something wrong here. You're right. I don't know if anyone's done that respect for their you know what? No, we didn't have to do our spec in that, did we? Crap. did they give us RSpec in it? Hmm. Of course, she's not on right now. Great.
When we do the login, shouldn't we just be doing a get index? Like once we do the login, we just go back to the index, right? Get is looking for a route.
Okay.
Like I have no idea why all these get find by same directors are in here. Because everything online, it's just
Well, so Find by Sim Director was a route actually that we added in this homework. Can you see? As I thought it was. 1 minute.
so we're not
Similarities.
doing a route for like where, or we're not doing a find by
Good.
route.
Yeah, you're right. So the get is nothing to do with that. It's about, yeah, so this, I think you're right. And that's why we'll have,
I don't think we need anything.
yeah, you can go with that. I mean, if we look at also how Jordan did it before in his events one. Yep, I think this is what you're looking at, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was looking online and just.
Gotcha. You're right though. That is correct. This is to do that. We should also get a flash though as well.
You mean expect the flash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but it's expecting a user's index.
Right.
So
1 sec. I saw something about that. Never mind, I'm not sure I'd do it. Oh, I'm gonna keep looking.
I'm thinking of a couple things. I'll let you do some research. I'm gonna try a couple quick thoughts.
Okay.
You're right. This is good catch on that. This one doesn't work. I have another idea as well.
So from what I'm reading, our spec's not really built for going from controller to controller. I think that's getting closer to the level of an integration test.
That would make sense. Just removing it honestly right at this point. See what happens. How about we just don't do the get?
Yeah. Sure.
So I think it's actually so unhappy at that point.
So now I think we actually need to make it, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, so let's do those 2 lines of code and see if they pass, right?
Yeah.
So the first one I want to do is the
Expect user to receive find by name.
yeah, so we have to use that essentially. Did you want to do this one?
Sure.
I see your cursor's already there.
So we'll do user dot find by name. What's our name parameter looking like? Where is that located?
Good question. Let's take a look at how the events one deals with like an edit. There should be a params. Not really sure, honestly. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so it's user underscore params, I think, and then you have to key dereference it.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to create that; it's already up above. If that's what you're looking for.
Oh, okay. User params. We're not creating.
Right up top there. Here. Right here.
User params. A name.
I know you want to do bracket colon name.
You want to do this, man? I'm not sure what you mean here.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's all
I
right.
think it's this way. May not be though. It might. You're right. It might be dot. Let me take a look at something else I did, but that's what I would have thought it would be.
I think we only use the bracket if we're using the params hash. User params is the method. That gives us something else, I'm pretty sure.
Huh. What's funny is we never actually used it for individual things, only for updating attributes and stuff like that.
Yeah, let's just try params. And then
That should work, yeah.
user find my name params.
Oh, you want to set that to an instance variable though. And I just ID. Oh no, you're right. No, you're right. User.
I didn't put anything yet.
What I mean is, yeah, you want to be able to save this as a instance of that user.
Yeah.
That's the first line of code essentially.
Yeah.
And the second one is us using it to find the password. So
Okay. So then I want to compare it to the one in the database. Well, that is the database. We want to compare it to params.
you're doing a lot in that one line, but yeah. But that's then you'll make an if statement. I'd break it up. I'd I know that does seem kind of silly, but and then next one I have an if essentially.
Right.
Although we're getting ahead of ourselves now, though, I think, because now we're doing the comparison. So we haven't created the RSpec for this yet. So let's hold off on that for now.
All right.
So if we rerun the RSpec,
that the same error we're getting?
Same exact one, yep.
Okay.
So it didn't get that argument, it looks like, for some reason.
It didn't even get the method. Right? Because it didn't even get the password method.
Well, that's the second one.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the arguments don't matter. They have the same error format, like received 0 times.
Yeah, but it does look like, though, this guy has a weird key here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. That might be because my skip there.
I think we gotta do users if we're referring to the database, not user. Try running it again. Now we gotta change our test too.
No. You sure it's user, not... Sorry, because whenever we looked at events, that's still the wrong one. Oh, what the hell is it? So they always do event.findID or event.all or event where.
True.
Let's try the... Same exact thing, and then let's try... Let's say the dot name. Yeah, she's online now.
Roses.
Yeah. And although it looks like she might already be helping Shafka and Andrew.
Oh yeah. Well, so I'm not sure whether or not it's the R spec or the method
Yeah, I know, right?
that we're not doing right. So I'm just gonna work. I think I'm gonna work on the method right now because I have no clue what I'm doing with R spec, and I would need the professor's help with that.
She says she just needs a minute.
Okay.
So, but what was your thought on what you wanted to do? You wanted to change this at this point, or
Yeah.
add a method? I'm
just gonna try and
change this method.
change up the login method.
Okay, go for it.
Let's see.
That is one way to do it. Do a concurrent thing. It seems like a lot though for one line, but in theory, you could be like, "Is this nil?"
All right. It's either gonna be one. It's either gonna be a list of one user if it's correct, or it's gonna be nothing if it's incorrect.
Yeah. Now you can just do a comma instead of another where.
Oh yeah.
Yep, and you need to have keys in there, and it needs to be an arrow, not an equals. Let me see if I can find you an example for that.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at the same thing as you.
Oh wait, yeah, wrong about that actually. I used at one point as a, well, I think it's actually them. Where's my homework in this one? But movie dot where and rating colon and then the proper keys. Huh, weird. Only one of them. So that was in the model where we did that. Where it was movie.where key arrow self.director. That's where we had done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Yep, I gave her the link. So.
Okay.
Need a capital here to make it close. Work. I don't think you need the parentheses. But
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think that. Wait, why'd you change it from notice to warrant? Well, I can see why.
Just thought it was more applicable.
More important. Good point. Good point. You know, I wonder if we have to add the whole Flash stuff to this controller as well, because it's a new controller and a new model now.
Was there much Flash stuff in the controller? I thought the view was the important part.
So maybe it was the view then. So we need to add to the view. Oh, wait, but you're doing it to the other point.
Yeah.
So, good point. I don't. Oh, never mind. You want the redirect outside, though, I think.
Yeah, I do.
Huh.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, you know, it's the same thing. Every time we click login, it goes straight to the page and.
Yeah. Click log
You need to make this guy be this instead of to begin with. That's annoying. No, can't be that. Also, I wouldn't reuse params like that again. I do users. Wait, it's user.name.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should make the difference anyways. So I have an idea of why this is happening though.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of need a two-step process.
Mm-hmm.
One where it brings up the page and the second one being where it evaluates what they get, just like how they do with create and new.
Yeah.
They have the update and the yeah. So how do they do it on the one-on-one? Okay, so I think I have an idea of how to fix that issue, but I'm tracking down the rest of it right now.
Okay.
So if I go into app, views, and new movies path.
Okay, so this post user's login path, I think, is where we need the logic.
Yeah.
We need to make that red.
Oh, wait a second. Sorry. So right now it's a post is like a create.
Mhm.
And so we have the index create our own, and then
The post would just for be /users/login.
but that'll go to the same. That'll go to the same method. We need two separate methods actually. That's what I'm realizing. I'm not exactly sure how they did it honestly in the homework we just had this week, but I do know though for the like for a new or a edit, you know, the new has a method that has nothing in it. All it does is bring up the template, and then that one goes to the then that one goes to the create.
Right. So I think login is going to be our empty method because right now it's empty and it brings us to the page with the form and allows us to submit it.
Well,
And
right
then-
now we're actually having login be the page. So we want to maybe change the name of that then essentially because that's the first spot we go to is login. Now, if you want, we can make another one that is, you know, ask for credentials or whatever. That could work maybe, but right now, so movies path index. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Huh? I'm thinking maybe instead of login users path, you want it to be where we're planning on going, which would be events _ path. I'm curious what that's going to do, if you don't mind me.
Okay. Where are you doing that?
In the view. Did you I see you're trying to do something with the routes right now. Did you want to do it or?
No, I just got rid of it all.
Okay. What's right now the control looking like? Because I don't want to, you know, do it too blindly.
Controller's empty right now.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm cool with trying this out then. I'm the wrong one. Okay. You starting the application. Okay.
Events controller create.
So it still didn't do what we want to do though.
No, it's going to the create.
Movies path is not create though, I thought. Movies path is index.
It's events path from a form though. I think that's the key.
I see. Maybe it really shouldn't be a form. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely kind of at a loss here.
All right, I think let's change it back to
Yeah, agreed.
what it was before.
Back, saved.
Right. So right now, if we run the server, oh, it's already running. Can you restart the server?
Yep. 1 second. Restarting.
Now go to it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, login.
and now it's looking for posts, users login. I think all we have to do is make that route, and we'll be in business.
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
Because all that route has to do is match the user stuff and then redirect to the events index.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go that path. Let's give it a shot. So
I'm just not sure how to.
What's that?
So like if we look at routes.rb,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to make a user slash.
I'm thinking actually, can do multiple things in the collection. Can't remember this. Where was that thing I had? BU. Here we cheat sheets for quick routes. And if we go to there we go. Okay, so for the collection, could I have multiple things in there? Not that I could tell. I don't know. You can do a post in the collection. Let me see what posts are available.
Looks like I got it.
You just add another one in the collection.
I added a second collection statement.
Mm-hmm.
Because I tried the other way first and that didn't work. But it's automatically going to users create. Or no, it's going to users login. Oh, so all I have to do is change this.
But we want it to be though. That's the thing.
It doesn't really matter. It's just the method name. It's custom, so we can
Login
do
check.
whatever we want.
Verify? How about verify?
Yeah, sure. Change that, break routes. Now we have /users/verify as our host method.
Okay.
I don't know if I like that though. I want /users/login. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, we wish it was like users get post, where they have an index and a create.
Right.
So that's going to add it to user ID. You don't want to have a user underscore ID thing.
What was that?
You have that users/user underscore ID.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you do want that, don't you?
Not particularly.
Well, you want to have that as a param. Well, not ID though, but name. That's kind of confusing.
Yeah, I want params, but I don't want. Yeah, that's not what I want.
Huh. I think I found something that actually gives a step-by-step process here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I realized this thing probably is considered basic.
All right.
Sent the link. Huh. So they're thinking of a sessions controller.
Mm-hmm.
So users is its own database with a number of people in it, but we don't actually use that to log people in.
So there would be no users controller.
Well, I don't know. Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, what are you working on?
Hi, Rose.
Hello, Rose.
Hi.
What are we working on?
Users should exist.
Yeah, we're trying to verify the logon information with whatever's in the database,
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
but we're having a lot of routing issues.
Really? What do your routes look like?
Pull that up. Oh, you got it, Joe.
Yep.
So you've got events and you've got users. Okay.
And we added our own login _ users.
Okay. And can I see your routes file? Oh, it's up there. It's not saved. Let's see what it looks like. So resources, events, resources, users. Okay, so you have them as parallel resources.
Mhm.
And do you have any relationships between them in your model files at all?
No, that wasn't the plan for
Anything I
this.
need to? Yeah. Okay. Okay. God, I knew I should have looked this up. I'm a little rusty on. This is. So you're trying to do authentication and registration, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Trying to remember. What are the typical pitfalls for this? Boy, I don't know if I'm going to be much help at this point today. I could start doing a little looking up my notes and check it out. And I'm sorry, I've been sick the last few days, and I'm I was hoping that I was over it today, but
Hmm.
I decided to have breakfast, and it's become apparent that I'm not over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you give me about 20 minutes, I could probably give you more targeted help.
Okay.
Because I'm sorry, I'm trying to sip some tea here and keep things settled, and then maybe I could think a little more clearly.
That's quite all right.
Yeah. So, do you want to rejoin in a little while, or how do you want to handle this?
Well, I also just recently found this Ruby on Rails tutorial
Mm-hmm.
that does a basic logon.
Really? Boy, I would
Yeah.
like to know where that is because it might be handy, for the class. Which one is that?
It's in the chat right now.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I just shot it to you.
Okay. Do you know what they're using for authentication?
They're using the basic kind of stuff where it's just we're not doing any third party or anything like that. We're just doing purely you type in a name and
Oh,
password.
really? Okay. Okay, because that's actually the harder way to do it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, the normal way to do it nowadays is third party. That's the way, like everybody does it.
I'm thinking we may want to turn this into a bigger story and have it be third-party authentication type
Yeah,
thing.
you might want to actually, because basically the way things are now, nobody does the raw stuff anymore, and sometimes it's harder now to find information about how to do it, just raw,
Hmm.
not using a third party, because of course we're using Rails 4 now. There was lots of information when people were using Rails 2, or even some towards the beginning of people using Rails 3.
Mm-hmm.
But now with Rails 4 and 5, everyone's pretty much gone over to third party. And I imagine you're going to have a tough time finding something for Rails 4.
Yeah.
Good point. Well,
Yeah.
let me propose something then. I think we may have also gone further than we really needed to for a 1-point story.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, users should exist.
Yeah.
Um,
And we
yeah,
had this.
maybe you don't want to do the login right away, the
Yeah.
login portion. Maybe you just want to verify that you've updated the database and that users exist. I mean, I'm fine with that, really.
Okay.
And as I said, I mean, you've been making lots of progress. I have just been totally bogged down with the other section where they just can't seem to even get iteration 1 done, and
Wow.
yeah, I mean it's just kind of crazy, and
Okay. So then,
that's been taking up a lot of my time, unfortunately.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, for 1-point story for this week, I would say that's fine, and I'll spend some time this afternoon trying to get through and see if my notes still are good, or if something's changed and I need to update a couple of things.
Okay.
well, Rose, sorry,
Because
press
there
everybody
has
else.
been there has been a lot of change in this stuff. When we were working in Rails 3, the third party authentication was still the way people were going, but it was very fluid, and the APIs were like changing
Hmm.
constantly. All right, so I'd like to see if the APIs I looked at previously are still using the same interface, and if so, I should be able to help you pretty soon. But don't worry about doing it for this week, especially since I haven't supported you guys in the last few days as well as I should.
Oh, thank you. So how about I take this part out, take out this
Yeah.
part.
Well, you know what you do? Start another story and
Right.
just copy
I was
and
gonna
paste.
say leave all
Yeah.
that. We'll put some
Yeah.
notes for how we're gonna refactor the story and what we got done.
Well, the
Yeah,
story
and then-
itself though is set up originally for that, so it's
Yeah,
not
but what I'm saying is start a new story and then start copying and pasting.
over
Yeah.
to it. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Don't,
so you don't lose
yeah.
what you already did, because I know
Yeah.
you've done a lot.
So what you're thinking to go to third party authentication instead?
I'm sorry?
Third party.
Oh, I would definitely. I actually looked this week to see if there was anything much on how to do the authentication in Rails 4, Rails 5,
Mhm.
just without third party, and I couldn't find much. So I'm
Right.
imagining you would have a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe. Okay, so outside of add authentication.
Yeah, that's
Right.
actually that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, and I'm sorry I
gonna-
didn't get further with that. I figured that this would be the week that it would start, becoming an issue, and I started to look into it, and I came to the conclusion right away that, I'm going to investigate the third party and just review it, make sure it still works. But
Mhm.
then I kind of got a little bit sidetracked with a whole lot of stuff.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
how are you guys doing in general?
In general, doing all right. Really, the only thing that I'm not a fan of is the R spec, just because it takes me like 2 hours to do something that I could do in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
There's, you just have to push through it. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
anything else. When you first learn a language, everything takes years. And
Yeah.
then you learn it, you have it down, and then you do it. I will tell you that I came across a very interesting issue this week, which I started investigating, and actually, I'm hoping I'll have the time to get back to it. But I discovered, and I might have mentioned this in class, that if you look at the original Rails 2 download for the skeleton for the homework,
Yeah.
it has on its view the show view. It has like a button for deleting, and the
Mhm.
button is supposed to have a confirmation part to it. Are you sure?
Mhm.
You're familiar with what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I noticed that it had stopped working. It had worked in previous versions of Rails, but it stopped working, and it was no longer working in Rails 4. So I started looking into it, and I discovered that there was a small change in the way that was being handled in Rails 4, where essentially you weren't going to be able to get away with using sort of ultra poetry mode to get through everything, where you had to be a little more explicit about which hash this argument was part of. And when you do that, it works fine, right? So it was about a 5-second change, right, to fix it. But
Yeah.
because it was silently failing, right? And,
Mhm.
and my
Mhm.
question was, why is this silently failing? Shouldn't someone have been aware of it? Apparently, there had never been a test written to show that worked or didn't work. right? So
Okay.
I started, so I started writing some tests and discovered a whole lot of stuff. Number one, that little pop-up is a JavaScript pop-up, so you can't test it the way you test the regular stuff in Cucumber and Capybara.
Yeah.
And besides that, supposedly you can run tester in a headless browser with Cucumber, Capybara, Poltergeist running over Phantom.js, and that's supposed to work. You're supposed to be able to see that modal and test it. And what I found out was that doesn't work. Poltergeist is supposed to ensure that you can manipulate the JavaScript, and modals don't work. Okay. In fact, I backtracked it and found out that some other projects that were using this stack to test their modals, it wasn't working, and it was failing silently because they were only testing whether it passed and not whether like if you said yes and not if you said dismiss. If you say yes, well, what's happening is it's just blowing past it, so it doesn't even see it, and it's like a don't care. But if you say no, it doesn't cancel it, and therefore you would have a failure. But I found all these tests that were written that didn't check for dismiss, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm trying to get my stack working with Selenium WebDriver, which are Sam and Armando and I had a conversation on Friday about this, and he says that he's come across the same things, that they're advertising that this works, but it doesn't, and that the only place he's been able to get any traction with these JavaScript pop-ups is Selenium WebDriver, which actually brings up a browser. It's slower, but it actually brings up a browser. And I'm having an issue with that. My Cloud9 IDE is not recognizing Chrome driver for some reason, so that's like a sticking point for me. But the big message here is that somebody wrote code that they hadn't tested first. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? There was no test written. And then in the future, and it was very simple, so I'm sure everybody thought, oh, well, what's the big deal, right?
Right.
In the future, it failed silently because there was no test.
Mm-hmm.
And after spending over a week on this, we've all come to the conclusion that this is ridiculously, it's so simple, but it's ridiculously difficult to test. So why was code written that is difficult to test? And this is the whole point of TDD, all right?
Okay.
So you write code after the test, because if you can write a test, that shows that your code is testable.
Right.
If you can't write a test, then or writing the test is so ridiculously difficult, you might rethink what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like what we're going to do in the future is go in a completely different direction with this. Instead of using these little JavaScript pop-ups, which are such a pain to deal with in terms of testing, we're going to start using something called paranoia, where when somebody deletes something, it takes them to a page where the record is still there locally, right? And they have an option to, say, all right, I really, really want to delete this, or oh, I want to back out of it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it doesn't involve JavaScript. It doesn't involve problems with testing. It's more robust. It's a lot more, how shall I say, visual safeguarding of what the user is doing.
Mhm.
You know, they actually see what it is that they've chosen to delete. And instead of just, oh, you know, maybe I clicked on the wrong thing. It says, do I want to do it or not? Oh, of course I want to do it. And then they discover, oh, shoot, I clicked on the wrong thing. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? So we've come up with a better solution, but I'm still stuck with trying to write this characterization test. So, yeah, I mean, it's ironic. And I found that the timing, you know, this past week where we were talking about legacy code and the need for writing characterization tests and the kind of things that can happen, I mean, it was like surrealistic the way it all occurred this week. You know
Very
what I'm
fitting,
saying?
yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. So I know it seems like, you know, the RSpec is a pain and it takes more time to write the test. And we had a whole conversation about this Friday,
Hmm.
because Armando has been spending a month on how to reasonably. I didn't even realize we didn't realize we were both sort of looking at the same thing,
Yeah.
and he's been looking at all these different stacks, etc., and finding that half of them advertise this and they don't work. And I found it, you know, by accident. And then the ones that do work intermittently or are very problematic or hard to set up. And you know, I found this independently, and you know, it generated this whole conversation about how we should be building our interfaces to be testable, which is key.
Hmm.
uh, so you know, I'm still, I mean, even when it takes forever, I still really believe in it,
Yeah.
because in the future it's going to save you time.
Okay.
Yeah. And as I said, it's key to the process. I would rather see you develop less stories and do it right
Yeah.
than one more story and do it all wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, again, I apologize for not being all that available the last few days.
That's okay.
That's all right.
Yeah.
If you could look over the scenario that I have here, and
Mhm.
and then if you want to, you can even approve it right now. Then.
Yeah. As a user, so my activities are recorded. I want to be able to log in. Now, this is the. What am I looking at here? This is the new story that you're going to do in the future.
No, this is the one that we had originally. Now,
Oh,
if I need to
okay.
change this, I can change this.
Yeah, because that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
You're putting that in a news story, right?
Yep, that's on the right here.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
So then,
As a user, so I guess we have to have something about a user existing, or you know, so that in future we can record issues about a user. I want there to be a user attribute or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we could make it really simple, and it's just one point. So I wouldn't want it. I mean, to say that login is a 1 point story, I'll be honest, I would never say that. Whether I mean, first of all, if you're trying to do it from scratch, it's a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to do a third party and you're not familiar with the API and you haven't done it before, it's a 3-pointer.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
I believe that.
yeah. Anytime you run into something like this, where you start working on it, and it's like, wait, this is way more than I thought it was. Just let me know, and we'll negotiate something.
Hmm.
Yeah. By the way, have you guys finished the Legacy 1 homework yet?
Joe
Yes.
did. I did not.
Okay, because I decided, mostly because I'm having so many issues on the other section and they're cross-listed, and I don't want to do one thing in one section and not in the other. What I'm going to do is extend the date for Legacy Homework 1. So if you did it already, you know, you're in great shape. If you didn't do it already, don't worry. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to just get rid of the Legacy Homework 2 unless somebody needs extra points and wants to work on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, so that's just going to be totally optional. And I may make the performance homework optional as well,
Okay.
because I don't think the other section's going to get through unless I start eliminating homework.
Yeah.
I know you could do it, but I also think you would probably appreciate the extra
Yes.
time. Yeah.
I like being able to focus on our project better.
Yeah.
More
I mean, on the
interesting.
one hand, I really like people to have that experience in the class, because in industry it's going to happen, and you're going to have to figure out, how do I juggle all these projects and tasks that have upcoming due dates, and I am tasked with all of them. And it may not just be one project, it may be several. And that's pretty tough to do. And it's pretty tough to kind of steel yourself emotionally to do it, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that everyone have that experience. At the same time, I want to be realistic, and I may want to expose people to this and just make them aware that it's going to happen, but it doesn't have to, happen for real in the semester, if you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So, yeah, just be aware that this is a common problem. And when it does occur, you should try to negotiate with your lead or your boss or whoever it is.
Right.
Yeah. And learning negotiation is one of the most important things you can do as a developer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've updated the user story itself, and the scenarios are below.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, that's very nice. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think it's perfect.
Okay.
So,
And if you want to see
yeah.
us run the cucumber,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so it's right down here actually.
I'm sorry?
Our part of the cucumber is the last one to run.
Yes. When I follow login, then I should see username, and it's great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't try to delete anything really we had done. We just have it not being utilized.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
had
that's
started our spec to make sure that it doesn't be an
Yeah,
issue. I just commented out the tests themselves.
never delete this stuff. Always comment it out. By the way, do you know how to do a block comment in Ruby?
You know, I forgot. How do I do a block comment?
Okay, now the weird thing about it is you have to start it in column 1. There's no choice. You say equal begin,
That's
and then
right.
at the very
And then equal
end,
end.
it's equal end, and it will not work unless it's on column 1.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That whole area is commented out, and then it's very easy to, uncomment, comment. In fact, sometimes if I have a whole string of things, I'll put a begin, end. Yeah, and then as I start to comment them out, you can easily just put, like you can have one begin and then have an end at the end, and then just comment out the initial begin, comment it out or not, depending on how far you want to comment. Am I making any sense?
I
Probably
see.
not.
Yeah.
But that way, as you start to fill it in, you can just use the
Okay.
same block, but just change where the begin begins.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah, I'm all set. Are you guys? Do you want me to
No, I'm good.
go up? Are you done with this then? Because
Yeah,
Yes.
I would say so.
okay, now
Did not work
is
there.
there if you just change the view, you don't need an RSpec for it, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. And let's see. So what is your status here? I'm trying to find your story on Pivotal Tracker.
I sent you a link on the main page. Yes.
On the main page?
The class one for
Oh.
here.
I'm looking in the wrong place. Oh, now why am I not seeing it? Hold on. Okay. Now I see it. All right. User should exist. So you finished, and so you ready for delivery?
Yeah.
Where's the? There it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I will accept it. So there you go.
Cool. And I'll push this up
Anything?
to. Oh, sorry, what was that?
Yeah. Are you aware of anything else I should look at right now?
Not from our user story.
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right.
So, you said that you'll be giving an extension for Legacy Homework 1.
Yes.
So, I mean, the way that I had solved for it was I created a cucumber test. Well, actually, no, first I followed their directions, and I was able. So it showed me the bug.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I created a cucumber test, and all I really needed to do for that cucumber test I found was just try to access the web page.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much all I really did initially. I can actually show it to you here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the actual, what you actually have to do to fix it in terms of either testing or code is very little.
Yeah, I mean, it was an if
challenge-
statement, essentially,
Yeah.
added
Right.
in it.
Right. The challenge is,
So, but I was a little confused, like, to know what was, as a legacy programmer, how far should we go? Because, you know, we talk about a lot of times that, you know, the minimal amount of work, or
yeah.
so I found the bug with just purely having to view the page. So
Yeah.
do I really need to have tests to do more than that?
Okay, I mean, if you want to be a purist, because because you changed code in the controller, and this goes back to what I just talked about with the silently failing code and all this garbage, right? You should write an RSpec test, again, because you had to touch the controller. Now, having said that, what you might do professionally and what you should do in the class because of limited time are two different things. All right. And my feeling is, since the point of this exercise, the point is to look at some legacy code and see what you might be faced with and find the problem. That's the point of Legacy Homework 1. The point of Legacy Homework 2 is to actually get in there and write code for a legacy project where, you know, there's no two ways about it. You damn well better write some RSpec, all right?
Gotcha. Okay.
And it's more work than Legacy Homework 1, which is why
Yes.
I would rather, you know, that we do Legacy Homework 1 and just have people have that insight and realization, than Legacy 2, where we're piling more homework on that, you know, I don't think we need to do at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I mean, I think what, you know, if you just wrote a cucumber test and it showed the problem, then you were successful. That's a characterization test.
Yep.
And you know, if you were able to fix the bug, great. Because remember, the point of this would be that you've been called upon to, you know, write some code for this legacy program. And I mean, yeah, there might be a bug, but it's probably not the main focus. And in doing the second part, you would write these further tests as part of the job.
Thank you.
So, you know, just postpone it. Do it then.
Cool.
All right. So, anything else? Any other stories I should look at, or?
Not that I know of. I mean, did the people for events should have more info ever talk to you, or the users should sort by date or name? I don't see any scenario. They did check off the tasks though. I didn't
Oh,
notice that.
really? Okay.
But they didn't hit finish though, so I don't really know where they actually are.
Okay. Yeah, Andrew sent me apparently on Slack a couple of days ago, and I only just saw it, and I feel terrible. He asked me a question about a couple things regarding images, so I did send him a pretty thorough answer.
Okay.
And what he was proposing to do, and the couple things he wasn't quite sure of are really quick. So, you know, I hope I'm not holding him up too much. So are we good to go then? I mean,
Yeah.
because you guys probably
Actually,
just want to, yeah.
I have one more question. So since we actually added a resource, we can't probably just keep ignoring these whole test.sql SQLite 3s like we normally do. So how do I fix conflict in those? 'Cause I think that's going to come up probably. Or maybe I misunderstand what these things do.
That's no. I mean, you do understand.
The way to solve that is to take them out of the Git tracking system so that they're not involved in any pull requests.
I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking that you remember you're going to push to your main repo is a production. It's a production version of your
Okay.
code. And the important thing is that you've got a development branch that has all the tests on it. And I mean, the thing about the test database, it's created on the fly when you start doing tests.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
So
So it's not like if you blow the test database away, that it's going to harm anything, because it's based on your actual database.
okay.
So it looks at your most current database and creates on the fly a database for test.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so I think, in fact, if I remember correctly, that's usually part of git ignore.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Okay. Cool. Then I'll work with Tom to finish this up and get it squared away. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, take care.
You too.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So Tom,
Yeah.
how do we do a git ignore? Okay, I think we can start doing that now.
I got some stuff to do, so I would rather just remove them for now, and I'll look into it before class,
Okay.
and then we can figure that out in class. I think that would be good for me.
So let me just do a remove then for these two guys, these logs and such.
Yep.
I think there's only 3, right? Yeah.
Just do another add and
Git
status.
Did
Do add all, just to get this all in there.
Okay, and git commit.
Just do status again.
Oh, status again?
Yeah.
That should do it here.
Changes. No. I just like to see the status to make sure everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
So now do a commit.
Okay.
And now push.
Okay. Now if we go to the website.
Or no. Don't go to the website. First, we
Don't
need to merge.
That's right. That's the new part that I forgot about. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem.
So I think I have to change to master, or do I leave it here? I can't remember. Is it git merge
master? Yeah.
That seems weird.
That is weird. Could have sworn that's what we did. Takes new commits from branch name. Do a git pull.
Should I switch over to the master first, though?
No. Do a git pull from this.
Yep, just did.
Oh, okay. Switch to master. Do git fetch.
Git pull, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And I'll switch back.
Yeah. And try the merge again.
Pull, I can be tab. That's nice.
Okay.
That's weird. See,
Maybe all that removing before fixed it.
maybe. The books version actually does it the other direction. They want to merge in the other direction. I don't really understand the difference, honestly. That's my biggest trouble.
Well, we do.
Oh, go ahead.
When we do a pull request, that's like merging in the other direction.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, so I'll do that real quick. Let me just make sure this is refreshed. Let me just do a check of what changed. Yeah, so no difference there. Good. Add. Schema version changed. Which makes sense.
Yep.
The step change we found. And that's it. If you want to review it or wait for Jordan to do it, maybe tomorrow, your choice.
Yeah, let's wait.
Okay. I'm good to go. Thank you, Tom.
No problem.
Have a great day.
You too. See you later.